Take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Biggest question people have is, how do I start the process? What is the process? I want to build a new home, but I don't know what the first step is.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. And get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined as always on the ones and twos with Harrison. Always appreciate him being in studio. As kind of we were just talking about getting to that tail end of spring break. We didn't realize that, I don't know if it really started this week with everything else going on, but weather outside's nice. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I'm just glad the weather's finally calmed down. Still don't know what that blizzard was. My car is caked in mud yet, so I think today's the day I go get it finally through the car wash. But Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's just been a weird week of weather.
Well, I think it's another thing that people can sit here and blame Texas for after. I mean, you saw the article come out and they were like, the dust storms and everything. If you got the brown stuff on your car, and then everybody's like, blame Texas. And they're like, yeah, of course we will. So the car wash scene is definitely in full effect here. If you have money or stock in any of those, I think the last 3 days you've probably
doing pretty well.
Yeah. It's better than some of the other stocks we won't mention, but I would say those are up on the up and up. And so if you want to advertise on 93.7 The Ticket, please, because at some point that dust will go away. And I know Jake will definitely entertain what that looks like. But other than that, how did the storm hit you? Did you lose power? Anything bizarre happen to you? Did you go save any lives? What went on for you?
No, luckily, no lives had to be saved, at least in my local vicinity. And no, the power didn't go out. But yeah, I just remember for, hindsight being 2020, Wednesday night, we're, obviously I run take a weeknights. I pulled the decision. I was like, I think we're going to cancel because I had 1 cancellation, 2 cancellations. Okay. I'm like, people are sizing the storm up. Right. But then by the time that night came, like I walked outside at like 7 p.m. and I was like, it was like 40 degrees and it was like already starting to melt. So I was like, maybe we could have had it. But yeah, I mean, the weather, it wasn't too bad where I was at. It's just bizarre. So, like I said, hindsight being 2020, I think we could have kept it rolling, but I couldn't read the weather to save my life.
What I think is people said it just on whatever that line was exactly, it hit. Like, I think, I ended up going out to Kearney and got a couple nights stay at Casa de Jaden Ferguson. So she'll probably share about what that was like. But left Tuesday night, school was canceled or called because of inclement weather here for Wednesday. Early on Tuesday or late Tuesday, but 5 o'clock, which is traditional, a little bit earlier because of the weather. Got out there about York, the wind was blowing when I was driving. And then when I got to Kearney, you started seeing the sleet pellets. Power kind of went on and off. We got the early version. I think I texted into Nick a little bit. And it was just starting here. And then I just, different places got dumped on. Had a friend in Omaha. He lives in Bellevue. Said, really, they didn't get a ton. And then he drove to North Omaha and said it was like 6 inches. And just dumped on. So I'm glad. And again, thanks to first responders. Thanks for, those individuals with the, power and light and just electricians and all those individuals. I know Omaha's still going through. Some people are getting their power back in the counties, got hit a little bit as well.
Tough run for Omaha and power.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too long ago we had that. Well, when was that crazy windstorm that knocked power out Lincoln and Omaha
about a month ago. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, hopefully everyone's got power now.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's still some people without it.
Well, you want to make sure you have it because that transition in the final, March Madness. And so, I know there's some people who are up in arms with that, but I think now a lot of people want their power to go back off because brackets quickly, how's yours doing? I guess that's the $24,000. I don't even know, $24,000 question I saw last night. There was like 3 brackets left that were perfect. And one of the, for entertainment purposes only, electronic components. How's yours doing?
Yeah, I mean, mine definitely took a shot with St. John's. I think I was probably the biggest bracket buster. Yeah. I bought into the Patino hype quite a bit. I had them all the way, not winning it, but in that championship game. Honestly, though, it's doing all right. I noticed this, like, in some of the group chats, everyone's like, oh, my bracket's so good this year. And I'm like, it's been pretty chalk. I think everyone's actually doing all right. Like, if you picked chalk for most of it, your bracket's doing pretty good. Unless you had St. John's winning it all or who was the other big upset that I'm missing out on here? I know Kansas lost to Arkansas. I want to say there's one more big seed that got kind of taken out early that was unexpected. But, yeah, I mean, otherwise, doing pretty solid. I got Houston in the final, and that team looks promising so far.
See, I'm an Arizona Wildcat, and I had them up against St. John's and then against what I should have done, and I've done this before. I picked St. John's. So took a little bit of a hit there, but it's been fun to watch. I think for me, my biggest takeaway is that I don't, like, if you have a kid, you don't want to raise them to play basketball. You want them to be a manager.
I looked at the way to go.
McNeese State, and I'm just like, got like 120 calls. He's got security now. He's got cheerleaders wearing his shirt and walking out all for wearing a boombox. The best story I heard, Under Armour flew him in a jumpsuit. So the yellow or the jumpsuit that he wore yesterday, they flew it in overnight for him to wear for the walkout. And so, when you think about that, the women's side, I mean, there was a ton of blowouts. I think they said 600-700 point games, which is the most that they've had for a while. it will be interesting once those core teams start getting down, the South Carolina, UCLA's, Tennessee start playing each other.
Well, it's cool the viewership on those too.
Yeah.
Like you'll notice
Right.
for the men's side, like day 1, day 2 are dominant.
Yeah.
And then as it kind of goes on, like depending on who's in it, the numbers will fade. And then on the women's, I'm curious what happens this year. It's like the complete opposite. Day 1, day 2, kind of lower numbers, and then all of a sudden you get to the Final Four. And last year, their championship game brought in more than the men's.
When I
championship
actually
game.
was there. I remember because it came back and it was phenomenal. And so I think they're setting up for the same type of thing. You got Juju Watkins, Paige Beckers, a bunch of other individuals. So with that being said, Harrison, how can people get in touch with us? Because we got 2 guests I want to make sure that we allot that time for. And like I said, I stayed at Casa de Ferguson. So she's going to give some insight on what kind of hotel guest I am when I bunk up for 2 days because I can't get back on the interstate.
Absolutely. As always, you guys can join in 402-464-5685. That is the SAR name and text line. You can also put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961 if you got Allo Cable. And while we're on it, we also do got college hoops coming your way, but not until 1 p.m. later today. So we'll be live on the brick and mortar all the way up until that point.
Fantastic. Well, hey, I am appreciative that I've got 2 guests in the house. And I said as I put my Facebook post and all my social media stuff, one I'm very familiar with. Some of our listeners are a little bit familiar with as well. My daughter, Jaden Ferguson, who has been on in different capacities, but now is transitioned into life. It is no longer an active scholar athlete, will always be a scholar athlete, but now going to school at UNK, getting her master's as a grad assistant for the volleyball team. And so also was the individual who was gracious enough and only charged me half of what maybe some of the other lodging institutions would the last couple of days. So Jaden, how you doing?
Good. Pretty good.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. And then we got Kinley. Kinley is a scholar. She's a 3rd grade scholar. I misspoke when we were out there. I was like, dude, I thought you were like 5th, 6th grade. I thought you drove down here and everything else. And Kinley's going to tell you a little bit about herself. She is excited to be in this space. She got that mean look of like, okay, I'm game ready because they've got a tournament here in a little bit. And so Jaden's like, really, I need you focused like 3 hours before, dialed in. But she is a tremendous volleyball player, scholar, athlete, and I'm excited to have her and her family here. How you doing, Kinley? Awesome. All right. So this is how we're going to start. We've been talking about March Madness. I know you are volleyball kind of focused. I know Jaden's multi-involved and loves that. But I need to know from you, Kinley, I'm going to start with you. Who is your favorite volleyball player or that you think would kind of translate and be a really good basketball player?
Andy Jackson.
Andy Jackson. Who does Andy Jackson play for in case anybody out there is under a rock and doesn't know?
Nebraska.
Okay, so Andy Jackson, you think she would translate to being a really good basketball player, right? Okay, what position do you think she'd play? Would she be a good shooter, defensive player, all around, Steph Curry like?
Like a shooter.
You think she'd be a good shooter? Oh, I think she'd appreciate hearing that. Okay. Why? Just give me couple reasons why you think she'd be a good shooter.
Because she can jump pretty high.
Okay, that jumper and that release. Okay, so Jaden, what about you? Okay, you've had some experience with basketball, et cetera, but who is a volleyball player that you think's game would translate to being a really good basketball player?
I'm trying to think. Trying to go without a different player here that's probably not in the state, but thinking from maybe trying to think of a player that we might not all know.
Maybe somebody you've played against.
Yeah. I think Becca Alex played basketball. She's in the state. I've played against her a couple of times, but she was a great post player. So she was a great basketball player as well, multi-sport athlete in the state.
Okay. So Becca Alec, who definitely, I think, as you talked about, definitely had that caliber to be definitely, just as successful as basketball or any, other sports as she was in volleyball or as she is in volleyball. So let's just start a little bit. I'm going to have we're going to do do it a little bit differently. Jaden, tell us, you've been on before, but tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah. I was involved with all the sports, basketball, track, volleyball. I went to Southwest High School, SCO Middle School, Belmont Elementary School. I then went to college at Northwest Missouri State, played volleyball for 4 years there. And then I transferred to the University of Nebraska Kearney to do my master's, played a year of volleyball there. And then they were gracious enough to have me for an extra year and have me as their grad assistant. So I'm still in that role there. And I'm coming up on finishing my master's degree. I'm graduating May 17th and I'm on the job search. So if anybody has any open job roles, I'm still looking. So if anyone has any open job roles,
what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Public communications, social media. So anybody's looking, I'm available right now.
Fantastic.
Coming up on the end of my degree there, and right now I'm coaching 9s for ABC Volleyball Club, but they're playing in the 10s division, and this afternoon they're playing in the 11s. So playing up a couple H divisions, and Kinley's one of my star athletes over here. She's pretty good. So happy she wanted to join us today.
Awesome. And so Kinley, in a little bit, I'm going to have you explain. I was going to have you introduce Coach Jaden. I should have had you do that, but I'm going to have you do that in a little bit. So Jaden said a little bit about you, a phenomenal scholar athlete. Kinley, tell me a little bit, first off, where do you live?
Trenton, Nebraska.
Okay, and so tell, for those of us, your dad explained it a little bit. What's Trenton by, for those that may not know?
McCook.
Okay, by McCook, Nebraska. And so what's your all's mascot? I looked it up on the school. So you have them. What's your mascot?
Falcons.
The Falcons. Okay, so you're is it the Fighting Falcons? Is that what they say, or they just say Falcons? Falcons. Okay, and you're in 3rd grade. Tell us who is in your family.
My mom, dad, Avery, and Alana.
Okay, and so tell us your mom and dad's name. Go ahead and give them a shout out by name. I know sometimes people aren't allowed to say their first names, but we're going to give you permission.
My mom's name is Stacia, and then my dad's name is Hef.
Awesome.
Or Justin.
Oh, and Justin. Okay. And then you have any pets?
Yeah.
Okay, got to give us your pet's name, because we've got a list here of cool pet names, and we want to see if yours can get into the top 5.
My dog's name is Arson.
Okay, we haven't had that one before. I haven't had that one. Okay, Arson, that might edge up in there. Any other pets?
I have 3 other dogs.
Okay, we got to get their names. What are their names? Don't leave any of them out, because I don't want them like rolling up here during your tournament being like, dude, you left me out.
Wiggles, Bear, and Tiny.
Oh, I think Wiggles is going to get in there.
Yeah, that's top 5 right there, I think.
Yeah, Wiggles snuck into that top 5. All right, welcome. We're going to keep our list. All right, so you've got that. Those are anybody back at Trent you want to give a shout out? Any, girlfriends, friends that are boys. I don't want to say boyfriends, friends that are boys. Anybody you want, teachers? Who do you want to give a shout out to back home? You're like, this is my moment. I don't want to talk to anybody. They need to be calling in, talking to me. Yeah, who's one of your teachers that you enjoy in a class you enjoy?
Miss Mulsick.
Okay, what does she teach?
She just teaches my whole entire class.
Okay, so she just does the 3rd grade. Awesome. So Jaden, tell us a little bit about Kinley. What is something people would see right off the bat? Okay. And then what is something people, like, you've been coaching her for a while, that people would need to get to know her a little bit before they would be like, okay, that's who she really is.
I think the first thing I noticed about Kinley at tryouts was volleyball, because that's kind of how I first met her. And first thing I noticed was that she had this amazing jump serve, which at 9 years old was really amazing. I had to make sure she was actually 9 years old, because she was out there having a full jump serve and peppering with all the older girls. So I think that was the first thing I noticed about her. But second thing was that she wasn't afraid to hop on out there with all the older girls, which is not something I was able to do. My dad kind of had to force me to do all those things when I went to camps when I didn't know people. So that's something that I noticed right away at tryouts with Kinley. But getting to practice with her and coach her, I really enjoy getting to kind of teach her some of those advanced level things, and she's able to apply those right away. And she's really coachable and flexible, but she also has this kind of go get it attitude, and she's ready to compete all the time. So I really love getting to coach her, and she's really coachable in that way.
Awesome. So Kinley, what is something that about Coach Jaden that people wouldn't know if they were just watching her coach and they're like, okay, I want to know something about her, and you're going to run up to them and be like, okay, here's a secret, here's something you need to know? All right. What's something about Coach Jaden that most people wouldn't know? You can go ahead and give all the secrets. You can give it all away. What's something you like about her as your coach?
That she's a really good coach.
Okay. What does she do? What does she do that makes her a good coach? You have fun at practice, or what do you work on? What's something you work on at practice?
We work on passing, setting, hitting, serving.
Okay, I like that. So where did you learn to jump serve?
I just taught myself.
So you didn't watch video or anything? You just were out in the back and you're like, I'm just going to jump up and go ahead and hit the ball? So something I've heard about you, and I had to tell Harrison this. So I saw you had one of the pictures I got we were going to post that has you holding the scoreboard. And I heard you served a complete game. You did. Now tell me, what did that feel like?
I mean, it felt nice that I won a whole entire set.
Okay. And so you served 25 points straight.
I served 15.
Oh, you served 15 straight, and they were all jump serves.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the part, like if you're teaching somebody to jump serve, so you taught yourself, let's say you had to teach somebody else, like what would you tell me the first thing I need to do if I'm going to do a jump serve?
It's just like you're hitting the ball.
Okay. So do I need to concentrate a certain way, or what is the biggest thing that I would probably need to remember besides not falling on my face? Do I need to keep my eyes on the ball? What's the thing I need to look at?
I mean, you need to keep your eyes on the ball.
Okay. Cool. I like that. So Jaden, you've been coaching. Okay. And so that transition, one of the things I want to ask you about before we're going to break is, what has that transition been like? I know as a parent, we've seen you, Harrison's been in the studio, but people have seen you involved in the Lincoln, Nebraska kind of surrounding community for some years. And so just interested, like, share a little bit what that's been like now, kind of being a grad assistant for Coach Squires, who's been successful at pretty much every level. I know we've been talking about March Madness and the coaches, and but was actually the volleyball coach at Hastings College when I was there. And then it's kind of surreal that now, I had a daughter that was playing for him. And so, not saying he's old, he's seasoned, but still experienced success at every level he goes to. What does that transition be like? What has that been like? What have you learned from him and learned from that experience?
I think transitioning to coaching at first was a little bit hard, just finding the balance, because I played with a lot of the girls, but I really enjoyed getting to enjoy the game from a different perspective. And I think it helped me transition slowly into like a different phase of life, which I appreciated, rather than just going from playing to going out and looking for a job, or just going from playing to not being involved with athletics. So I think that transition was more smooth than it could have been. But also it helped me just get into club coaching, and also being able to apply some of those things that I was able to learn from Coach Squires, and all the other coaching staff members, and some of the girls, and how to communicate with maybe people that are my supervisors, or communicate with my club girls, and how to kind of communicate with them and get them to do the things that I want them to do, or if there's issues, and how to do that with them.
So you're involved now. You talked about club coaching. You're on the coaching staff at AVC, and that's Antelope Volleyball Club. I was going to mess that up. Antelope Volleyball Club. There's some significance to that because it's in Loper land, so that's what the Antelopes are. Talk a little bit about that organization, and how have you been able to apply some of the things that you've had from your playing days, whether it be from me coaching you to high school to college to going into this role?
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed getting to coach club volleyball, because it's a different kind of side of volleyball. It's a little bit more lighthearted, but it's also a step down kind of from college coaching, because it's not as intense, but it's also somewhere where you're able to get to have fun with girls and kind of choose that age division. And I've really enjoyed getting to coach the 9s level /10s. So that's been a really fun age division. And especially out in Kearney, it's area where it's not as developed as in Lincoln with club volleyball. And Maddie Squires, Coach Squires' daughter, runs that club, and she's had her own gym out there. And she's really taken the time to kind of develop that area and take the time to kind of have that Nebraska level that's out there and that talent that's out there. And she's taken the time to kind of showcase that out there. And there's a lot of great talent out there, especially like Kinley's here, and she's out here to kind of showcase that and be kind of that little star example out here in Lincoln.
Awesome. So Kinley, what is the thing you like most about like playing volleyball with AVC? What's been the best part about it? Because obviously you came, you tried out, you were peppering with the older girls, probably thought you were going to be on the 16s team. So what's your favorite? What do you enjoy most about like AVC and just playing volleyball in general? What's your favorite thing about the sport?
That you just get to play with other people.
Okay. So you like your teammates. So I'm going to put you on the spot before we go, and Jaden can help you. Okay. So your teammates are listening. I want you to name all your teammates and give them a shout out before we go to break. All right.
Brooke, Piper, Brecken, Willow, Gracie.
Jade, if you want to help her out.
Brooke,
Piper, Gracie, Brecken, Willow.
You said Piper.
Yeah. And then me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, you're second guessing.
She was like sitting there, like, okay, there's somebody else. There's somebody else who's not showing up.
We got a small team, but they're mighty.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Hey, we're going to go to a break on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
We're in Raising Cane's with the man that started it all.
Wait, are you the Yes Chef guy?
We got chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries, Texas toast, and their world famous cane sauce. Could shed a tear right now.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Go Hog Wild Pet Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Ella Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. We are back with Peter Ferguson at Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined as always on the ones and twos with Harrison. We've got in studio Jaden Ferguson and Kinley, and both of them are doing a phenomenal job. Harrison, we got some texts from the Kinley fan club already out there ready for her to go ahead and knock down those 11s here tonight.
Yeah, obviously we got it from the Kinley's family. You got your sister Serenity, brother Gage, and mom Tanya. Love you very much, and say way to go as well on Facebook. We got pulled up here. Ginny Franks. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong. Saying good job as well.
Awesome. And we had we asked the question earlier about that person, that athlete that would translate from volleyball to basketball. And we got to give a shout out. Coach Rump from, I would say, state championship. Coach Rump is at home listening, and he said Jaden Ferguson is my pick. And so I wanted to make sure we acknowledge that and everything that Coach Rump has done for not only just our family, but for a number of scholar athletes for years. And so hope he's enjoying retirement, and thanks for tuning in. So we've got Kinley and Jaden, and they've both kind of shared a little bit about where they're from, their experiences, a little bit about, what it's like, her coaching. And then Kinley gave shout outs to all her teammates, almost left herself off that list. That wasn't going to be good. But Kinley, if you were going to give advice, okay, so you're the coach, you get to be the coach today. Okay. What's a piece of advice that you would give the team as they get ready to go out there? They're driving, they're listening. A piece of advice, you're the team captain today. What's a piece of advice that you're going to give them to get ready for today?
Volleyball is not about winning. It's about how hard you play. Or it's about having fun.
Okay. I'm going to have you step up that mic real quick. Say that again. Say that again, because I think people need to hear that.
Volleyball is not about winning. It's about how much fun you have.
Awesome. And so you've had a good time. Again, we talked about you serving, you're doing a jump serve, this, that, and the other. What are some other pieces of fun that people can have in the sport of volleyball that you've either watched or that you've kind of experienced while you've been playing? Like when you watch volleyball, why do you enjoy it so much?
Because you're just having fun with.
And you're having fun with people. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite celebration? I need to hear an AVC celebration. Okay, give me one, because I know you show some joy and stuff on the court. I'm getting to watch you this afternoon. Give me one thing that you all do is like when you make an ace serve, what do you do?
We do an ace cheer.
Let me hear the ace cheer. I got to hear it. Our people want to hear that AVC ace cheer.
We do ACE ace.
Okay, you do it like that?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I think you all get a little bit more excited than that. Let me hear it. You and Jaden both do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
AZE ace.
There you go. There you go. I like that. So, Jaden, what's a piece of advice that I'm going to start giving you give to your players? Okay, you give to your scholar athletes, and then let's start with that piece of advice you give to your scholar athletes.
Well, me and Kinley were talking about this a little bit over the break. Well, we were talking about don't be scared of the ball.
Okay.
I say that quite often to them, but I think something that I like to give to any of the buddy that I'm coaching or talking with is to not lose yourself within your game, because I think that's an important piece of you, especially as you grow older, especially kind of as you transition from high school to college or college freshman, sophomore to junior, senior, taking the pieces of your game that make you and keeping them, but adding in those things that are going to transition into your growth of game, whether that be making yourself stronger, adding in new shots or new moves, but keeping your personality and keeping those things that got you recruited or got you to the point that you are important.
Awesome. And Kinley, what is like a piece of advice your family's given you? You know, what's a lesson or a piece of advice that your mom or dad has, or sisters, has told you that's helped you?
Just be yourself.
And so why would you say that's important? Why did you listen to that?
Because I'm not usually acting like myself.
Okay. So this is the thing is I'm interested. What is yourself? Like, where are you? Are you usually that person that runs around the gym and just yelling, cheering, doing whatever else in the classroom? Are you, not kind and polite? Like, tell us what is yourself?
I mean, kind and polite.
Okay, I can see that. Kind and polite. What's something that you've done recently that's really kind? That's nice. I mean, you got your dogs, you got your sisters. I know you've done something nice for somebody in that crew. What have you done that's really nice? Or Jaden, if you've seen something that she's done as a teammate that's been really nice?
I think she's really good at practice about helping the other girls learn, because like I said, she knows a lot about volleyball, and she's been really good about helping the other girls learn more about volleyball, but kind of in a kind way of telling other people how to do those things. So she's been really good about doing it that way, especially at a young age. It's hard to learn how to do that quickly. So she's been really good about doing it that way.
Awesome. So Kinley, what's been the hardest part about volleyball? What's been the hardest part for you? Has it been like the team? Has it been obviously not the serving? Has it been going after making sure you're not scared of the ball? What would somebody starting out, what would the hardest part of volleyball be for them?
Like running after the ball.
Running after it. Okay. So why is that important for those of us that don't play? Like somebody has never seen the game and they're like, man, why are you just standing there? Why do you need to run after the ball?
So you don't hurt yourself, because you can trip and fall.
Okay. So don't hurt yourself, trip and fall, and go after that. So you talked a little bit when we were sitting there getting ready to come on air and everything. And I asked you, after this is all done, you get bigger, you're stronger, you're nagging out there. And I think you go, McCook, which high school do you feed into? Or what's your high school?
Hitchcock County.
Hitchcock County is your high school? Okay. So I don't know. Tell me a little bit. Do you know how their volleyball team is? And are you excited to go to high school and get to play high school volleyball?
Yeah.
Okay. So after you do that, you win state. Okay, because I think you're gonna win state. Okay, we get to see Kinley out there. We get to shout her name. I'm like, I knew her when she was in 3rd grade playing nines. All right, your name's called. What do you want to do? Like after that, do you want to go to college? Is there a college you want to go to? Do you want to keep playing, or like, do you want to be a firefighter, an engineer? Like, what do you want to do after like high school volleyball's over?
I want to play college volleyball.
Okay, you want to play college volleyball. Where do you want to? Where are a couple places you would like to go?
Nebraska or UNK.
Okay, so so it's not Coach Cook anymore. I was going to say that real quick, but Coach Busbaum is there at Nebraska, and then Coach Squires is going to put in a couple more years. So Coach Squires, you can't go anywhere quite yet because Kinley you want to play for Coach Squires, I'm assuming, right? Okay, so Coach Squires, Kinley's already on that recruiting list. You're going to get on that board. I don't even know when you graduate. So I was going to say you're probably on that 2038 board or something like that. I'm just putting it out there. I'm probably freaking Coach Squires out. He's like, I don't even want to think that hard. He goes, I'd love to have her, but so Jaden, we've had you on before. I think the last time we had you on was right before you were going to experience a significant moment. Tell us what has been the moment that probably most stands out to you in just like athletic, but also just in your career in general. And I know there's a number, but just what's a moment that stood out to you?
I think volleyball day in Nebraska was really big just because being like a Nebraska volleyball fan and just getting to experience like going to Husker games at the Coliseum and in Devaney and that transition, like that's always been really big for me. So that was really incredible. I also think getting to experience all the NCAA regional tournaments that I got to go to was amazing, especially the first one because at Kearney was the first time I ever won a regional game. So that was also a big moment, but also all the regional games that I went to, just because at Northwest, being able to kind of transition and get to go for the first time, like that's always huge. But also the first win was huge at UNK that I was able to have at a regional tournament.
Awesome. And tell us, and Kinley gave us some advice that she received, to just have fun and be yourself. What's a piece of advice that you'd give to younger scholar athletes? And I just say usually between that ages of, birth to 24, give or take. What's a piece of advice that you'd give, even elementary through college?
I think Kinley kind of nailed it with BU, because that's kind of a piece of advice that I think a lot of younger kids should go with, especially at a younger age, because sports are about having fun, especially at that younger age. But then as you transition, like in the recruiting process, you don't want to lose yourself. So being you is really important throughout that process, because that's what got you on people's radars. And that's kind of what carries you throughout college. And you don't want to lose that.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to take one more break, and then we'll be back with Kinley and Jaden on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through April 1st is $1 off all pasta, $2 off spaghetti sauce, and special discounts on hamburgers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or also at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Boyk Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Boyk Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at Boyk, B-O-E-C-K, farmoutfitters.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Opportunity can knock at any moment. When it does, you can't afford to miss a call. That's why you need a business phone system that gives your team the flexibility to answer anytime, anywhere. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, we make it easy to equip your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. We enhance the efficiency technology provides while putting people first in all we do. That's why we meet your business right where you are by offering customized office technology solutions that meet your specific needs. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined as always on the ones and twos with Harrison. We've got two great guests in here knocking it out the park. We've got Jaden Ferguson and also Kinley, and they're both representing here today, getting ready after they get off the show to go take down some 11s as 9-year-olds at the volleyball tournament. Where is it at?
Nebraska Wesleyan.
Okay, at Nebraska Wesleyan. So one of the homes over there. So they're going to go ahead and put some work in. All 7 of them, the Mighty Nines, or we say the Fighting Fergies. That's we're gonna send them off. And so in our last segment here, just want to, we've asked about advice. Jaden, we asked you about advice that you'd give to adults. What is some advice that you'd give to parents? You just kind of, and I've been that. I've been your coach. I've also sat on the sidelines. What is a piece of advice that if going over again, the piece of advice that you'd give to parents like myself or others that are out there.
Piece of advice I'd give to parents is support goes a long way. Supporting your kids or those that you are with is something that I think a lot of kids aren't able to verbally express kind of what that means, but being able to give your support to them and what they kind of choose to do within reason kind of shows that you're backing them. And I think it gives them the confidence to do what they are able to do, as well as gives them the confidence to do it well as and be able to do it at a high level.
Awesome. Kinley, so you're getting ready to play today. Okay. What is the thing that you're going to tell your teammates after you leave here? They're getting ready. The first set's getting ready to start off. You said, don't be afraid of the ball. What's something else that you're going to tell them to get them ready for the game?
Just you got this.
Like that. So you got this and they're ready to play. Don't be afraid of the ball. Okay. So you're getting ready. You're going to jump serve, right? Are you jump serving today?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, she's like, yeah, of course I'm jump serving, dude. There's no other way to do it. Okay. So you're jump serving. What should I be looking for when you get ready to jump serve today when I come and watch? 15 points? Somewhere in there? Maybe. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. So you're going back to school. Okay. You're going back to school Monday. Okay. You're going to be a superstar. We've gotten a lot of texts, people listening or whatever else. Give a shout out to somebody or just something at school that you want to say, like, hey, just something you want to tell us about your school. What makes your school kind of unique? What makes it really cool? What makes the Falcons kind of special? Is it the number of kids that are there?
And we have like 100 and something.
Okay, 100. So you know everybody that's there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody's skipping school, right? Because if they're skipping, you know where they're at. What's the best thing in your town? If I'm coming to visit, what should I go? Is there a place I should go eat?
In my town, there's really nowhere to eat.
Okay, so what do you eat when you come here? You were at somebody's house last night, right?
Yeah.
What'd you have?
We had goulash.
Okay, and whose house did you stay at? They need a shout out.
My aunts and
Okay.
uncles.
Okay, so you had goulash there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you have for dessert?
We had ice cream.
What kind?
I had sea salt caramel.
Ooh, she broke it up a little bit. She didn't just go straight with just like I had vanilla or chocolate. I had sea salt caramel. Okay. What's your favorite place to eat when you come into town outside of your aunt and uncles in Lincoln? Don't tell me, are you a McDonald's person? Was it Culver's? Your parents don't take you out to eat?
They do.
Okay, where do you go?
What about Kearney? You're in Kearney a
Yeah,
lot.
okay.
Yeah.
Where do you eat in Kearney?
We eat a lot of places in
Okay.
Kearney.
Give me one place.
Freddy's.
Okay, so we can replicate that here. We do the Freddy's. I was going to ask you, is there something favorite you get at Freddy's? What's one thing you get at Freddy's?
Chicken strips.
Okay, chicken strips, universal. We can make that happen. So, Jaden, before we roll up, I always say, I ask you to define. I'm going to ask you and Kinley to define. Just say, finish the sentence. Love is, and then we're going to do our love huddle. So, love is to you what?
Love is unconditional.
Okay.
I think love is unconditional because whoever is giving it is always going to be there for somebody and is always going to be giving it at the same level.
Powerful. And I'd also have to say, love is, you want to make sure you give your mom a shout out because I know she's probably listening and be like, hey, you excluded me from this. Harrison, I got to tell you, like, I'm the third best athlete in the house. I know with this imposing stature, the high cheekbones and everything else, that it would come off that way. But Jaden will let you know, like, her mom won a state medal. Okay. I'm the only one in the house without a state championship medal. So won a state championship medal in volleyball. She's won a couple in basketball, also in track and field. And then I have nothing. But yet she's like, but you have your jersey hung up in the house.
And you're a Cowboys fan. It's just
Well, I'm trying. Well, let's ask Jaden real quick, and then I'm going to ask you, Kinley, your favorite team. Like, what's that been like? Because people come into the space and want to know what's that like been living with a Cowboys fan, and are you a Cowboys fan?
I just tell people that You are. I mean, I wear cowboy stuff, but I say that like you are.
Okay, and so how has that impacted you?
People don't give me a hard time because I say you are.
What's the distance between?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so Hotel Day Ferguson and the Lincoln branch is now closed after the tournament. So, Kinley, you told us your favorite teams. Okay, I think you said that before. So, Kearney, University of Nebraska, and University of Nebraska Lincoln. Okay, can you give us a Go Big Red? Okay, you're at the game. It's set match point. Okay, you're there, you're clapping. Okay, and it's got that clap and everything, and then this crowd goes, and I know you know it. They're like, "Go Big Red, lead it." Come on, 1, 2, 3.
Go Big Red.
Okay, hang on. We gotta get 3 out of you. 1, 2, 3.
Go Big Red.
All right, and then then you know how to do the lopes? You know how to throw the lopes? You been to that? Jaden, show her real quick. All right, fantastic. Okay, Jaden, before we go, 30 seconds. Give us your pregame speech that you're going to give to them. You're previewing it. You got the team. They're getting ready to go. What's the pregame speech that you're giving? 30 seconds.
To call the ball 3 times. Don't be scared of the ball. Go out there and have fun and make sure we talk because we work on talking a lot, but make sure we go out there and have fun and hit the ball hard is what I'm going to tell them today.
And Kinley, before we leave, what are you telling Coach Ferguson today? What advice are you giving her before we leave? 2 words. What are you telling her?
Just be yourself.
Ah, like that. Well, hey.
And real quick before we get out of here as well, I want to get the shout out here to Aaron Davis chimes in as well. Says great show and wants to give a congrats to Jaden on graduating with her master's. Want to get that out before we get out of here.
Well, hey, I want to thank AD for that. Tremendous. AD saw you when we were getting married. He spoke at the wedding. Also, Kinley, you're a hero today. So we're going to send you all off with some 93.7 The Ticket T-shirts so you can wear that after you all come off with some big wins and championships in between as you go back. So thanks, Kinley. Jaden, as always, appreciate it. Love you. And we'll be back next week on 93.7 The Ticket. Bigger than the score.